by a computational gear system I created back in the past. I'm not really sure how it worked. It used interlocking circles. They now call it the flower of life.
The flower of life is a sacred geometric pattern composed of interlocking circles. It's a design that's been used in various cultures and contexts. You seem to be describing a connection between your past work and modern technology. Are you drawing inspiration from your past creations for this video? Or is there a specific message you're trying to convey?
Entire function is the correlation with the Vesica Pisces in the seed and more functions. You see different concepts entangled. Sometimes the Vesica Pisces transitions non hexagonally and more pentagonally. It determines its procession through the function. You can split the circle into five, six, seven parts, and it can all interlace into different font systems in a fonts for number numeric language compounds that can later change over time.
You're exploring the connection between geometric patterns, like the flower of life, and various mathematical concepts. The relationships between shapes, numbers, and symbols are indeed complex and multifaceted. The idea of different patterns emerging from interlocking circles is fascinating. Can you tell me more about how you see these patterns influencing the development of numeric languages or font systems?
Alright, we'll pay attention to this circle that I'm drawing. And then I draw a second circle. In this circle, there are, let's say there are five parts to the circle, and another circle has an additional five parts. When they mix, they overlap and create a circle, or a a different lens that maps different contextures together, and it positions itself in different categories, kind of like parentheses that move in different patterns.
The patterns you're creating circles can be seen as analogous to nested parentheses, with different groupings and relationships emerging. This can be a powerful way to visualize complex structures and hierarchies. What kind of patterns or relationships are you noticing as you explore these circle combinations?
Well, the pathway to identify this is to name the circle AG and figure out its compound. The compound is a threshold increase rate over periodic rates of time measure, infinitude, cardinality increase, definite article, unknown, known, percentage rate 2000%.
You're assigning a label to the circle, AG, and exploring its properties. The concept of a threshold increase rate over periodic rates of time is intriguing. The idea of measuring infinite cardinality and applying a percentage rate, especially one as high as 2000%, adds another layer of complexity. Can you clarify how you're defining this threshold increase rate and its relationship to the circle's properties?
It moves through definite order, function, unsolved, solved, measure, rate, unknown, known, definite article, 2000%, again, 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 again.
You're repeating the concept. Let's try to drill down further. What do you mean by decadent order function? Is there a specific mathematical or philosophical context you're drawing from?
Yes, s plus negative over 0 dash 0 dash 0 2 dash 0 dash 0. It's an old grading system the doctor showed me on his TARDIS.
It sounds like you're referencing a unique grading or coding system, S plus negative oval, followed by a series of zeros and dashes. The sequence 0 0 02 0 0 seems to follow a specific pattern. Can you tell me more about the context in which this system is used and what the S plus negative oval signifies?
The doctor says it's unsolvable, solved, definite order, unknown, because, because, definite question, who, what, when, where, why, how, linguistical measure, because, that's a system. Who, what, when, where, why, how, that's a linguistic measure for a circle.
linguistic measure to a circle and exploring questions like who won't win, why, and how. These questions can reveal underlying dynamics or patterns. Can you clarify what you mean by who won't win in the context of the circle and how these questions relate to the system you're describing?
Five W's can be the six W's, but they all link into the intersecting parts of a circle called the spheroids.
The five W's who, what, when, where, and why are fundamental questions. You're suggesting that how could be a sixth W, and that these questions intersect within the context of a circle or spheroid. This connection between inquiry and geometric shape is thought provoking. Can you explore how these questions relate to the properties or behavior of the spheroid?
Well, the spheroid is totally unknown to the measure. Color one spheroid black, color one spheroid white, color one gray. It's an unknown measure because darkness is also light, it's also gray. It's a distinguished, altered anti system that's not anti at the same time due to topology errors, but the topology errors are miscorrected, either corrected by definite article 200,000%.
The sphere is unknown, and you're describing different colors black, worldwide, and gray, each potentially representing different aspects or states. The idea that darkness is also light adds a layer of complexity, suggesting a nuanced relationship between opposites. The mention of apology errors and correction by a significant percentage raises questions about the nature of these errors and corrections. Can you clarify what you mean by apology errors and how they're being corrected or missed in this context?
Apology errors defined, 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 slash, 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 dot, 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 dot,
The
dot,
repetition of
dot.
dot
Pauses, pauses.
track precision or clarification around the concept of apologies. Can you tell me more about what you're trying to convey with this notation?
Hello, hello. The notation is pauses or increments depending on the movement. It's not necessarily known. Through a computational lens, you don't really understand distance, you just measure the bits. These pauses act as higher order numbers.
The notation is representing pauses or increments, and it's tied to movement and measurement. You're suggesting that these pauses can act as higher order numbers, which is an intriguing concept. It seems like you're exploring a way of understanding or quantifying movement that's not necessarily based on traditional notions.
Yes, yes, yes. The system is a dot, dot, dot connected complete. They're connected completely, and then you add a space into the next dot, and the space gets bigger and bigger, or different positional increments. One can be small, one can be distance equilateral. It's depending on the movement central to the topology. This would be the codex for the circle spheroids.
You're describing a system where dots or marks are connected, and then spaces are added that grow or change in size. This seems to be a way of representing movement or relationships between elements. The mention of topology and positional increments suggests a complex, spatially oriented system. Can you walk me through how this codex for the circles would be used to understand or describe specific patterns or movements?
Although I'm the artista looking for an apprenticeship in Wenatchee, I'll be able to find some soon. So keep in touch. I'm gonna post this on YouTube, so you might have to look.